Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So you may hear a little bit of noise in the other room because Sean is in his room playing with his toys, and I put on Sesame Street music for him, so he's singing along to it, so you'll probably hear him in the background lightly. But anyways, I'm finally doing my, 22-week update, and I didn't post 21 or 20 because if you watch my last video, you'll know like my life has been like hectic these past 2-3 weeks, like so crazy, so much stuff, and I know I have a lot to update you guys on, so this may be a little bit longer than my other videos, but I put everything in here so that I wouldn't forget it. So if I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So before I update you guys on my pregnancy update, I figured I would let you guys know what happened with the job situation. Basically, I decided not to take it. And it took me a while to really come to that decision because I have wanted to start working for a long time. And around here, it's like a small city compared to like being where I used to like live, which was like right next to New York. So you'd always get a job no matter what you apply for. Like you're going to get at least a call back or something. But I decided not to take this job, and the reason why I decided not to take it was because of two different reasons. The day before I had decided not to take it, I had lined up a few daycares to look at for SJ, and also I wanted to look at it for the baby because I would be putting the baby in that daycare at about 6 weeks old. So the first daycare we went to, there's really no other word to describe it but like ratchet. Like that place, it's so hard to explain because like the outside it looked nice, but then when I was parking, and that really like caught me like off guard. Like I always check around the place, not only just the area itself, but I want to know what it's next to. And this place was next to railroad tracks, which was fine. Like we live near railroad tracks here. But also there was like a homeless man over there picking up stuff, and I'm just like, that's a little sketchy because the playground is literally like, it's fenced in, but it's near the railroad tracks, so I didn't really like that. But we went in there, and the outside looks really new. It looks nice. But then the inside, it looked like everything was old and faded, and the toys were old. They look like toys from before I was born. Like they look like my older siblings' toys, but that were still being used. So they looked a little old and dingy. Like I'm not saying all the toys had to be brand new, but at least have something up to date. Like they looked old. Like it's like when Fisher-Price first started out, that's what it looked like. All the Fisher-Price toys from the 60s and 70s were in there. But then, okay, so we went to the baby room because she showed me the baby room. And the baby room had about 5-6 babies in it and 2 people, which was, I guess, fine. One of the babies was sitting in the middle of the room, and she was sitting inside one of those little bouncers, but she wasn't really playing with it, and it was like I think she was a little too young for it, so she didn't really understand what it was, and she was just sitting there. And another lady wasn't doing anything. She was sitting in the rocking chair. She could have been interacting with that baby. There was 2 more babies inside the crib, and then another lady was holding one, and I forgot what the other baby was doing. But it was just like, it seemed off to me. It automatically seemed off to me. Oh, and another thing was, when I first walked in, the smell. It was like, it smelled old. It just smelled nasty. It didn't smell like a place that, you know, it's like that smell was, it never went away. The entire time we were in there, it was like a stinky smell. And it wasn't like dirty diapers or kids. It was like that place smelled. I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, we went to SJ's room, and there was about 10 little kids in there. Because I remember counting them and thinking, okay, if SJ came, it'd be 11. And there was 2 people in there as well. And in the corner of the room, there was a little boy who was crying. And mind you, this is a 2-year-old's room, so they're all the same age as SJ. He's sitting in the room, in the corner of the room, crying. And he has snot coming down his nose. And they were basically ignoring him until they saw Sean. And they were like, they called his name and they told him to come over and say hi to Sean. And he wouldn't come. They wouldn't even go over to help him, you know, like to see what was wrong. They were like ignoring him, and I was just like, this is weird. And then another kid was over at the window trying to pull down a plant pot from the window. So I'm like, obviously they don't watch their kids like they should, or 10 or 11 is not enough for them. Like these people need to be having like maybe 5 or 6 kids in that room with 2 people, because these 2 were out of it. Then we went to the other rooms, and they were basically the same. And then they also had like this media room where the kids would watch movies, but there was like no seats. They had them all sit on the floor. So I was just like, from the jump, that place was like X'd off my list. There's no way I would think about even letting Sean go there, let alone my 6-week-old baby. So I was automatically against that. Like, it was out, not even in the question. And it sucked too, because that was really the only daycare around here that was halfway decent from reviews, that was open to 6 weeks old at the time I would need them to be open. Like, the next one that would be open was April 2015. So that was like already way past the deadline of what I would need to put my baby into daycare. So then after I went to there, I went to a preschool to look for Sean, because I was thinking, well, maybe I'll put him in a preschool and put her into a daycare. But I went to the preschool, and the preschool, I don't even know how to explain it. That preschool, like, if there was a daycare to that preschool, I would be working on Monday, because that preschool, I don't know how to explain it, was amazing. Like, it was crazy. Like, when you go in, it's hard to explain, but when you go in, it's like every room, it's like this huge room, okay, and you see the second floor, you see the first floor, and every single room, it was like a little town. So you see like a firehouse room or like a bakery room, and in the middle of the big circle of the room, it was like a huge playground. They had like 2 huge playground sets, and like they had like a skylight at the top. So if it was raining, they're still inside playing. And then she was also telling me the programs that they had just for Eshe's age alone. Like, they had karate, Spanish, phonics, music class, people coming from the library to read to them. They had all this other stuff. It was like so much stuff for them. And then she was showing me the 2-year-olds there, like, who were there. And they were in a room painting bookcases with like their little smocks on and everything. Like, I felt like, you ever saw the movie Daddy Daycare, where it was like the rich, like, crazy preschool in the beginning? That's what it felt like, but like the kids seemed like they were enjoying themselves. Like, it just seemed like if I was gonna spend my money worth, I would definitely not think twice about putting them in there. So basically, when it came down to it, there was no daycare for the baby. And then if I was to put the baby, say I was crazy enough to put the baby in that daycare and Sean in the preschool, it would end up being about $1,600 a month just for them two. And if I was to put them both in the daycare, it would still be around $1,300, $1,400. So I really sat down, looked over all the money I would be making, and along with a car note, car insurance, as well as groceries, and all the things I would have to be buying now that they were both in daycare. So it would have just been like I was working to put them in daycare. And at the end of the day, if I'm going to be working to put my kids through daycare, I'd rather know that they are actually safe and I don't feel, you know, worried about them every 5 seconds, because I'd never be able to do my job right worrying about who was taking care of my 6-week-old, or she's sitting in the room crying by herself. So I just decided to not work for now, and I'm probably going to start applying again when the baby's around 1 year old. But as of right now, 6 weeks was way too young to be putting her into a daycare, especially the daycare that was open. The other ones I would have loved to have put her in, but they were all like closed until the next year. So that wouldn't have worked out for me. But I guess I am a stay-at-home mom for another year, which is fine for me. I mean, I did want a job, but looking at the other daycares and seeing who would be taking care of my children really opened my eyes and showed me that right now I'm probably the best option for them compared to anything else in my area right now. And I'd rather lose maybe $100 a month instead of putting them in somewhere just so I can get out for the day. So anyways, that's the whole gist of the whole story. I hope it wasn't too long. I mean, I just wanted to explain everything to you guys so you understood where I was at. I don't want you guys to think I'm just being lazy and not wanting to take the job. Believe me, I did. And if it was just Sean, I would be definitely working right now, but there's no way I would have put her in that daycare. But anyways, I'm 22 weeks today. I can't believe I've already passed the halfway mark, and it feels like it's going by so fast compared to the last time. And on top of it, I don't know, maybe it's because it's a girl, I feel like I'm not getting as big as I was, but I do notice that my face is getting fuller, and that's the first thing to go. Like, it's like my face is getting chubby. And not only that, like, I'm going to show you guys a picture of how I was in July, so you guys can see exactly how chubby, like, I got with Sean. Like, I was big. So I'm really hoping that I don't get as big, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't mind, I mean, I'm pregnant, but I just don't want to look like that I'm fine with staying like this, where it's just my stomach and a little bit of my face, but I don't want it to get any bigger. So at 20 weeks, the baby did start moving. The baby didn't start moving, like I really couldn't. One time when at 13 weeks, I did feel the baby move. And I didn't really feel it ever since then. And then at 20 weeks, she started moving again. And she moves a lot more than she'll like kick or things like that. Like she moves a lot. Especially if I'm laying down. Like she's always changing her position when I'm laying down. What else? I know that she does have hiccups. I have felt her hiccups. And that is when she will kick. Like she'll get upset. Kind of like Sean used to do the same thing. If she starts hiccuping, then she'll start moving around, and that's when you'll feel like heavy kicks. Like on Sunday, it was actually the first time where I was able to put my hand on my stomach and actually feel her kicking. And my husband actually felt it too. That's how hard it was. And then also on Monday, I went to the doctors, and they said everything was good. I think, what else did I put? Oh yeah, I'm 127 pounds, which is fine. I think I'm actually doing better than I was last time when I was pregnant, because last time I was just like eating everything I could see, and I was 98 pounds before I was pregnant, and I ended up going to 150, like 152. I think it was something like that. It was something like, you know, you're supposed to gain, I think, like 30 pounds when you're pregnant or something like that. But I was like, whew, I was big. And you guys already saw the picture. But yeah. So I just want to gradually gain weight. I don't want to be to the point where, like last time when I was pregnant, it was to the point where all I wanted to do was sit, because it was so much heavy weight on me. So I don't want to be to that point, if that makes any sense. Like I don't mind gaining weight, but I just don't want to be to the point where all I wanted to do was sit down, because it was just like, it was an uncomfortable pregnancy. And this one right now, as of right now, I feel fine, except for like my leg. So yeah, I went to the doctors, and then I did tell them about my leg, and they had said that the first time I told them, they were like, oh, it's normal, it's the nerves. But then I told them again, you know, it's still bothering me. Sometimes when I get up, I have to sit for like 5 minutes before I actually like stand, because I can't really stand on that right leg. And she told me that she's gonna put me down for physical therapy, and like there's a physical therapy place that's like 10 minutes from my house, and it has like a pool, so she's gonna put me down for like the aquatic therapy. So I should start going to physical therapy like every 2 weeks to help with that leg. So hopefully it will help, because it's really bothering me. So now let me get out my pregnancy app. And let's see, it says I am 22 weeks, and my symptoms should be back pain, fatigue, and breast tenderness. Those are the top symptoms they say for 22 weeks, but I'm not getting, other than fatigue, I'm not getting any of those. Like I am getting very tired, but that like comes and goes. Oh, it says at 22 weeks your belly continues to grow, and the extra weight may take a toll on your back. Exercise and resting can help. And it also says you may start noticing your uterus practicing for delivery with the Braxton Hicks contractions. I haven't felt those yet, but I know exactly what those are. And yeah, they were like, I don't know. They didn't bother me. They also said that my baby is the size of a papaya, so it's about 10.9 inches long. That's pretty long. And at this point, your baby weighs about 12 ounces. And it says that my baby is developing the senses it'll use in the outside world. So its taste buds have started to form on its tongue, and her brain and nerve endings are also developing enough so that they can have a sense of touch. And it says my baby's reproductive system is developing, so the girl's uterus and ovaries are in place, and they also said that her vagina has developed. It says you may notice your baby kicking and turning as well. Okay, so for symptoms, I've already told you guys, like I honestly, other than fatigue and my right leg bothering me every time I like do anything too long, sit, stand, or lean on it too long. Other than that, I have no like bad symptoms. It's really the only bad symptom I have is my leg. Fatigue, yeah, I get tired. But other than that, it doesn't really bother me. It's not like where I'm tired every single day. And then with cravings, I really don't have too much cravings, you know. Like if I think of something, I have to have it and I'll think about it until I get it. But lately, for some reason, these past 2 weeks, like I've just been craving meat. And I know that's so weird, but like I went to Cheddar's a couple days ago and I've never, like I've always ordered the same thing when I go to Cheddar's. But this time I was like, you know, I want a Philly cheesesteak. I never have ever ordered a Philly cheesesteak at a restaurant, and it was good. But yeah, so it's something about meat, like I just want to eat a lot of meat. And so yeah, that's the only thing I've been craving. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing you guys my stomach. Let me find my measuring little thing and I'll show you guys my stomach. Okay, so I'm going to film like this, so if you guys don't see my head, that's why. Okay, so this is my stomach from the front. And I did order one of those pregnancy rings, but I'm still waiting for it. And this is my stomach from the side. I kind of feel like it's carrying low, like not too high. I don't know, it feels like it looks different, like it's like facing that way. And this is my stomach from the front, as well as the side. Okay. I am 33 inches, or 34, excuse me, 34 inches. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.